What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. Just got out of one of my coaching sessions and feeling fired up, and I want to just share a quick little story with you. When we try super hard to accomplish something, right? 9 times out of 10, it sounds crazy, but we overcomplicate things and we never, ever, ever get to that final destination because we're just trying so damn hard, right? So, when I start to feel that way, whether it be in my life or inside my business, I always try to go back to the root, right? I always try to figure out, where is this coming from? Why is this happening? And how do we fix it, right? As an entrepreneur, I think we have, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but as entrepreneurs or business owners, we're always trying to solve a problem. We're always trying to fix something, right? And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But getting to the root of it, right, and pulling the root out, versus just trimming snipping the weed and letting those roots stay, right? Those roots are going to grow back, and you're going to have the same problem over and over and over again, right? If you don't pull those roots out. So I'm sitting and going through this session, and we're trying to get to the bottom of, how I got to be certain ways in my life and in my business. And it's funny how ironic it is when you actually go to the root and figure this out. So, all of you guys know, if any of you guys have been following me for any short of time, you guys know that, my business was like this over the past 10 years. I started out awesome. It kind of tanked. I brought it back to life, and now it's just like cruising, right? But I wanted to figure out how and why the business tanked. And that's kind of what today's session was all about. And because I want to avoid tanking the business again, right? I mean, it's okay to cycle once, but if you start cycling like this, and when I say cycle is when entrepreneurs use this term, is like when your business does really well and then it crashes and then it goes really well again and then crashes. That's a cycle, right? But when you cycle too often, it's not healthy for your business, for you as a person and a human being. So I'm doing these coaching sessions to figure out how to eliminate cycling and just continue an upward growth, right? And a powerful business. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I hope that you can get value out of it somehow, some way. So we go back to when I was 10 years old. All right. We go back to when I was 10 years old, and I literally close my eyes and I go back to the elementary school that I was at, and I actually picture myself there. And there I stood, 10-year-old Henry, right? With his backpack on, with his dirty shoes, with his shirt with the collar stains around it because the shirt hasn't been washed in a week. The pit stains underneath the sweater. And I'm looking straight because I'm visualizing this again. And he's just standing there by himself, all alone, while all the other kids are running around and playing with their friends. And he was just like stuck in the middle, but nobody could see him because like nobody knew who he was. Nobody cared about him. And he was just this like smelly little pig pen from the, Peanuts that was sort of invisible, right? And every time that he would try to get into the cool kids club, he would get rejected. And every time he would try to act a certain way, he would get rejected. So the more he tried to get into the cool kids club, the more he got rejected. So he was confused. And didn't know what to do. And so finally, let's pause. So let's fast forward 20 years. And Henry was trying to be in the cool kids club for most of his life. Okay? And the more Henry tried to be in the cool kids club, the more he failed. Okay? And we brought this full circle because the reason why my business failed 5 years ago and was on the verge of bankruptcy is because that he continuously tried too hard to be in that cool kids club, and he kept getting rejected. He kept getting rejected. And so how do we resolve this? How do we fix this? Well, first and foremost, we got to go back to when he was 10 and understand that the way you get into the cool kids club, believe it or not, is not trying at all. And being so comfortable in your skin so that the cool kids actually look to you like, wow, you are a unique individual. We want you part of our club because you will bring value to us because you have something that we don't have. And that's the point that I want you guys to get today out of this live. And what does this have to do with branding, right? Everything. Because when you brand yourself as a unique individual, and you're not trying to be part of any cool kid club, you will attract more clients, more attention than you know what to do with. Why? Because people will see you as a unique individual that is 1 in a million. And now it's like 1 in 7 billion. Right? Barry says make your own cool kids club. And that is what I'm trying to get across to you guys today. And you guys know, the way I teach branding is through authenticity, because that's the way I grew my business. That's the way I built this business back from 2007 to now. And so that's all that I know. You know what I mean? I never worked at a Fortune 500 branding agency or came through the ranks as a branding expert by working for large firms. That's not how I built this business to the success that it's at today. I built it with understanding that when you brand yourself as a unique individual and you stop trying to keep up with the Joneses, that's when you become overflooded with business, clients, attention, and you create that unique individual self that people are attracted to. And yes, I get made fun of all the time from my cousins and my wife and my friends. They tease me about my shoe game, right? They tease me about the clothes that I wear or the watches that I wear. And that has nothing to do with trying to be in the cool kids club. I want to make this a point. It has everything to do with making me feel significant and making me feel successful in my own skin. In my own skin. Not to try to impress anybody else. That's the wrong way of thinking. That's what got me in trouble 6 years ago. That's what got me in trouble 6 years ago. So when you flip it and you start to come from a place that you're comfortable with, that's when you start to win. So when I see people out there that are trying so hard, think about this, guys. Think about this, guys, for a second. Say you have your group of friends over here, right? And you got your little clique, right? And this someone or something tries to come into it. And they start emulating you. You look at them like, who are you? What are you trying to do? You look at them as fake, as inauthentic, as trying to clone or trying to fake their way into the group. Well, that's the same thing that happens when you try to build a brand that's built on insecurity. Okay? So I want this live to sink in today and empower you to understand that authenticity and being comfortable in your own skin is what's going to empower your brand to explode and just really, really connect with the people that you want to do business the most with. Because when you put out that fake energy, you're going to attract someone that you don't want to do business with. I promise you that. Because it happened to me. But the minute I put out my true self, I started getting people into my client roster, and I started doing business with people that were just truly beautiful people. And the same thing goes with my personal life. There was a lot of mess. There was a lot of garbage that I attracted in my life, and it wasn't anyone's fault but my own. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. And so when you come from this position of confidence, when you come from a position of feeling like it doesn't matter, I'm going to be who I am because that's who I am, take me or leave me, that's powerful. That's powerful. And people will be tremendously attracted to that. So a couple takeaways in this video. One is, don't just put a Band-Aid on things. Don't just put a Band-Aid on things, because that's not going to help you. You got to get to the root of your issue. And you got to pull that root out of the ground and throw it in the garbage if you really, really, really want to take your brand to the next level. Okay? And number two is, you got to find where you're comfortable in your body. And you got to own that. You got to own that. And that will attract the right client to your business. That's it. Barrett, it is cold. I'm going to turn the heat on. I'm out. Strategy of preeminence. You're absolutely correct. That is what today's topic and live was all about. I hope you got some value out of this, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.